Hey guys, what's up? I'm Megan. Sorry I'm, I guess, sort of a mess. I just got out of the shower. I kind of accidentally tripled my coffee dose today. Basically, I found out it's supposed to be one big scoop for like a whole pot, and I used 3 scoops for 6 cups. So I practically drank rocket fuel. So right now I'm trying really hard not to talk a million words a minute. Right now you're inside my head, and I've got lots of videos and lots of things to talk about. Today is going to be about my experience with being committed to a psychiatric institute. I'm not going to say the name of the place right now. For many reasons, crazy stuff went on while I was there. We'll get into those in other videos, but right now this is just pretty much the process. If you've ever been to a psychiatric hospital, or if you've been into one in Florida, which is where I specifically was in one, is in Florida, then you know about Baker laws. And if you don't, it's probably because you went involuntarily. But basically, a Baker law is when you're involuntarily committed because somebody thinks that you are a threat to yourself or to others. So I was dealing with depression. I guess you'd say I'm still dealing with it. You know, a lot of us are. And it was too late for me to go to a doctor, so I went to the hospital. And everyone's like, oh my God, that's a mistake. That was the most stupid thing. No wonder why. You know what? Whatever. I learned from my mistakes. And I say mistake because obviously this whole situation didn't even help aside from the people that were patients there. We helped each other. That was literally the only help, and probably one of the group leaders. Like, it was just blah. Anyway, so I go there and they're like, oh, you know, I'm at the hospital, and they're like, oh, you know, do you want to hurt yourself? I said no. Have you ever wanted to hurt yourself? Well, I've had these feelings about 5 years ago, but since then, you know, I just feel really low. And they're like, well, if you don't want to hurt yourself, why are you scared? And I'm just like, because I haven't felt this low before, as far as I can think of, as far back as I can think. And it's just a scary thought. Just like, I guess it's just like you're afraid of losing control or something, even though you don't see yourself hurting yourself. Maybe you're afraid you're just going to go AWOL and just start punching the walls and breaking down barriers and stuff. I don't know. So for whatever reason, they decided that I was going to be Baker acted. But after all this, they basically said I was cooperative and all this stuff, and I have no clue. I honestly have no clue why I was Baker acted. They didn't tell me that it was because of anything violent. They didn't say anything. I promise you, I will not lie about this situation, because if anyone's ever been in a situation like this, like, I want you to know you're not the only one. So I was in the emergency room for about 23 hours. They literally ran me in circles. Not literally. They wouldn't even let me leave the room the whole time. I had to ask to go pee. It was ridiculous. But there's no, like, psychiatric institute at this hospital. So I was there for 23 hours. I went crazy pretty much once because I was stuck there for 23 hours and they wouldn't give me answers. So I just was like, bam, you know, on the metal part of the bed. And that's when I said, you know what, fine, give me the Ativan, because obviously you guys aren't going to do anything else. And yeah, it was probably a bad thing for me to do that, but you try being stuck in a room for 23 hours with no answers and people BSing you and running you in circles. It sucks. So I was there, and they keep telling me a psychiatrist is going to come if he answers his phone, basically. It's like a on-call psychiatrist. So they're like, you know, if we get an answer, we'll know. Well, eventually they tell me that the psychiatrist is going to come, but the psychiatrist never comes. All of a sudden, the next day, it was like, what time was it? It was like 7:30, 8 p.m. when I went to the hospital on the 10th. And then I think I was committed the 11th, which was when they said they were going to transfer me 2 hours to a psychiatric institute in Ocala. I give them a look like, isn't that about 2 hours away from here? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, so why are you transferring me into bumfuck Egypt, basically? I didn't say that to them, but that's what I'm thinking. And I asked them, I said, why are you transferring me so far? Oh, it's the closest place that your insurance takes. And out of all the places, I live 35 minutes away from Orlando, and you're going to honestly tell me there's not a single place? They're like, well, that's what, it's not like they said, oh, it was full or anything. They said that was the closest place that my insurance would take. Well, after all this, I found out that was bullshit. My mom did the research, and there were 19 psychiatric institutes within like 20 or 30 miles of Orlando, okay? So I don't know why they decided to put me in the worst psychiatric place in the world. Like, literally, it was number 2 next to Springfield Hospital in Maryland. And I live in Florida. That's pretty freaking bad when you can hit the top 3 in a psychiatric place. That is just horrible. Anyway, so an ambulance comes and picks me up at like 5:30 p.m. that day, which was the next day from when I was there. You know, we go there, and apparently I was cooperative, and I was good, and all blah, blah, blah. I'm, you know, chatting it up with them, and so I get to the place, and, you know, you can't have string in your pants and all this stuff, and I couldn't have my bra unless I took out the wiring, and I was like, I'm not going to mess up my bra because y'all won't let me wear it, whatever. So I ended up free balling. That sucked. I defied gravity for 5 days. It was horrible. I thought I was gonna have the boobs of a grandma for the rest of my life. But anyways, so you know, I got there. I ended up with 2 roommates who were really cool. One was my age, one's older. And of course, I'm not gonna say names for obvious reasons. So yeah, that's my experience pretty much. There was a lot more to that, but I didn't know how to like go about this because I've never, I don't know. Like, I talked to my family and my friends about it before, but I don't talk about it a whole lot. But I'm like, if I don't get this stuff out, I'm gonna go crazy. No pun intended. But if you guys have ever been through an experience like this, know that you're not alone. My next video will either be about how I made time go by while I was there for 5 days, or it'll probably be about the medications. Oh, medications. Oh, that was just suckage. But thank you for watching this far. I know you probably didn't learn a whole lot, but now you know. That is the start of my story of being committed to the institute itself. So I'm going to stop doing this, and I'm just going to stop the video. By the way, this is Mike Wazowski. Peace out. See you next video.